Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Wednesday impromptu Monkey Island Madness. I'm filling in for Joyce and coming on a little early. This is recorded live over at Ustream TV, and I am talking to a live audience in a chat room. So that's what's going on. I don't have a plan today. We're just hanging out, but I do have a small haul to show, and then we're going to experiment with some different things, and that's why this is sitting out here. This is one of the things we're going to experiment with. Oh, and I got to get those inks out too. And then fixatives, because I had the other day, if you watch my video, how the chalk disappeared. We're going to try some experiments with that. So I'll do my little, oh, well, let me go ahead and just say quickly, if you've watched me for a while, by now you know that Robert Vaughn, the rat, has been being treated for, and the way he got the name the rat was because he was being treated for APL leukemia with arsenic. And it's been a long 10 months, and we went in yesterday for his bone marrow results, and there is no sign of the APL leukemia. So they will continue to monitor him very closely for the next few months. But yeah, I just feel so utterly, totally blessed. I don't remember a time in my life. I'm sure there have been times in my life where I felt such just utter joy. I think we had both kind of talked about and planned for, well, if things don't come back well, let's go ahead and know that we're going to proceed and do everything with the most positive attitude ever. And I think both of us just felt like an elephant was lifted off us. So he's so happy. And the kids, of course, we came home last night. You'd think we'd come home and like break out the alcohol and drink and like whatever. Robert and I are crazy. We went and ate a steak. We came home, put groceries away, and then called kids and talked to the kids. So, and they, of course, were all very, very happy as well. And then I waited until everybody in the family had been told before I posted it on any of the social medias. So, yep, we got very good news. I thank you all so much for being so supportive and checking on us and sending cards and just praying for us. Yeah, I know a lot of prayers went out for us from not just you guys, but, anybody probably who had any clue what was going on. So thank you again. Yeah, I just, we'll still be going through a little bit of it with checkups and stuff like that, but it was awesome. It was a long day yesterday, though, waiting for the doctor. She was on call, and she's so funny. I do love our oncologist. She's so funny. Because she had been on call all day, she was way backed up. So we waited for like 2 hours or more, and she came in, and before she even told us the results, knowing I'm sure that we're sitting there anxious as hell, she comes in and just starts unloading about her frustrations with doctors and it's just like, she went on like 5 minutes. It was like, cool. Now, do you have the results? It's like, come on, put us out of our misery. And she was just so sweet. She read us the report and then, just like hugged us. And I really love her. I really do. She's a good doctor. So anyway, let's go on with the haul. I had gone shopping before we actually went to the doctor, so I'm not sure I had my complete shopping attitude going strong. But I do believe, like Dee Dee, that Hobby Lobby has just about finished the clearance. There was not much left in the art department at all. I did go ahead and get this larger bamboo pen with the sable brushes. So yeah, I got that. 75 cents, you guys. They had a bunch of these left. I think people don't know what to do with them. I'm going to treat them like any other paintbrush, you know? So I got one of those. And then the only other thing I got in the art department, honestly, was the Kimberly drawing pencils. And these I kind of want to wrap up and send to Hope. I'm not sure I will, but I'm not sure I need any more drawing pencils. But this is kind of a nice set, because you get all 10 pencils going from H to, well, 4H to 8B. So this is like the complete wide range of graphites. So for $3, this was a huge bargain. Huge bargain. So that, and then I bought some just white PVA glue, because this is not washable, so this truly is PVA glue, and you can use it to make Goosebumps or oh crap, like Mod Podge or anything like that. So that was only 75 cents. And you know me, I cannot pass up a good letter stencil. I love this size because, and I thought, I'm going to do illuminated lettering for my Inktober this year. So I thought this is a good size to start with, because my drawings are not going to be that big this year. But that was $1.50. Can't pass up a good letter stencil. And I don't know that I have any sans serif Helvetica Bold 2-inch lettering. So I got that. And then the only other thing I got at Hobby Lobby was this Precious Metals in gold leaf. Not really sure what and they had all the metallics, and it was in the same aisle that Dee Dee got her metallic in. And I think this is more like a paste. Let's go ahead and look at it, because we might do it today when we do our experiments about the metallics. We might have to use it. Let's just look, because we can, and I don't remember how much I paid for that, quite honestly. I know it was cheap. $1.25. But I thought, well, of course, I don't need any gold because I've got this. But this is more like a rub-on. Yeah, this is more like a paste. And they had all the colors of this. I just didn't buy it, because I thought this is the only one. Oh, it needs to be stirred. Oh, my God. Okay. Guess we're doing that first, right? Why not? And if it's actually defective, you know, because the water has obviously separated out, if it's defective, I'm not going to, yeah, I think it's going to be more like similar to Inca Gold. And I have a few of the Inca Golds, too. I'm going to have this crap all over me. Oh, wait. That's not all I got at Hobby Lobby. I'm a big fat liar. Getting out a baby wipe to clean my bad self up. You like the Finnabar paste? They had those at Michael's, Eileen. I did, we had some extra time, so I told Robert, just take me down to Michael's. I'm going to look and see if they have the Finnabar products in yet. And they did. It's a small amount of stuff, you guys. It was one end cap. It is liquid. Okay, so it's not going to be like a paste. I guess we'll find out. I wasn't sure when I bought it. I need to find something to stir with. That I'm not going to ruin. What do I have here? I don't think a toothpick is going to work well. Oh, okay, this is quite liquid. Cool. Alright, but it is water-based, it dries quickly, low odor, doesn't say permanent. I was hoping it was more like an acrylic product or something that when you put it down it was going to be more permanent. It's pretty, have to say that. Can you see it mixing up in there? It's really pretty. We'll just put it right here. And I think it's button that loves the emu. The emu is missing, you guys. Robert's going to go. I don't know if they're going to stop this morning. But yeah, I guess I can't turn that over. All right, we're going to set that aside to dry. Okay, and I'll finish my Hobby Lobby haul. Sorry, I forgot. I had this over here. Because it was like in the paper bag. Okay, and then Colleen had showed this, the parchment paper. I'll probably use it more for cards or something like that, or I might do the illuminated lettering on it. But it's just, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors of parchment paper, and for calligraphy, that's really nice. So, yep. Oh, I think Robert will go over and find the emu. But anyway, that was 2 1/4. So that was good. And then I got 2 more books, which I needed books, like I needed a hole in the head. But here's Pencil Drawing Step by Step, Walter Foster book for $2.50. So I thought, well, I like this. I like every drawing book. I like every drawing book. And it's total graphite. I mean, you could do them in color, for sure, but it's all about graphite drawing. So that was cool. And then the other one I got, and I've looked at this one 100 times. I'm going to bring the camera up so you guys can see it. The Joy of Lettering, surprise, surprise. It's a big book for $5.50. And it's just a whole book about lettering again. And these, I think, for me, are more eye candy and ideas. So, yep. But I've picked this book up, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many times. They had some really neat watercolor ones, too. The emu's name is Mr. Bird. So, lettering examples, tools, using metallics. So yeah, that's that. Look at, there's illuminated lettering using the bird. And a deer. So, yep, I don't feel bad a bit that I bought the book. If it's lettering, I think I should have it. And that's that. But really, I think I went in there, you know, and I was a little anxious, so I just don't think I shopped well yesterday. Where's the washi? I'm going to show that because that was not a Hobby Lobby item. That was a Michael's item. And then the only other thing I got, and one of these is going to go to Australia, is the Delusions little pouches. This was the only one left for $2.50. So I got it, and I probably will give one to Jen. But yeah, this one's really nice and big. So I love that they had all their books on sale at Hobby Lobby. Honest to God, I could have bought all of them. Honestly, I could have walked out of there yesterday again with all of them. And then I ran into Michael's to see about the Finnabar stuff, and they did have it. And the only thing I ended up buying, well, I'm going to go ahead and show it. I probably shouldn't, so then she can tell me. What did I do with it? The other night at Xandra's, Xandra had showed this, and Eileen and I both said we wanted it, so I did go ahead and get the Dream Without Fear stamp set from Finnabar. And I hope I'm saying her name right. If it's Finnabar or Finnabear, I think it should say Finnabear. Yeah, I was glad I went ahead and picked up. So, Eileen, I think this one And I don't know why this is all dirty back here. Maybe it was meant to be that way. Eileen, this one's coming to you, and if they have it the next time I go up there, I will pick up one for me. So, yep, this one is going to Eileen because she said she wanted it. So, Eileen, you've got a present coming. The Dream Without Fear. The one thing that surprised me about this, I mean, I love the size of the stamps because they'll work great in the Beast, and I want this stencil. I love this stencil, but I could have gone out to the car to bring Robert in to use another 40% off coupon, but I thought, oh, I'll get back to Michael's and they'll still have it, and then I'll get it later because I'm not going to have time to play with it anyway. So this one is going to its new home, and I was going to surprise you, Eileen, but I can't keep a surprise. That's just the truth. That's not the one I got. You got the butterflies and circles. Yeah, I like, there were like maybe 4 different stamp sets up there, and they were all like this. And you guys, these stamps are not that big. Like that butterfly is about as big as my fingernail. It's pretty small. Like these are not big stamps. So they're small elements, and they were all that way. Yeah. And then I was walking out. I was going to get that and then walk out, but they had a big sign on an end cap, 70% off the washi. So, and I looked up, and remember the other day I said I wanted a crayon washi tape? I was walking by, and look it, there's crayon washi. Right there. It's not the same as what they had on the Etsy shops. I like the ones on the Etsy shops, but I'm not going to pay. It was $1.68 plus $4 shipping. I'm not paying $6 for a roll of washi. I'm not. I haven't lost my mind yet. So for 70% off, these were normally, I think, $19.99, and they were $4. So for the whole tube, you got the whole tube for $4. So who could walk by that? And this is obviously a teacher one, but I'll still use it. You got the apples. Here's some metallic blue, which is really pretty. And they're nice big rolls, too. That's another thing. And they're Recollections brand, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Well, no, this one was Craft Smart, and this one was Recollections. I'll show you that one in a minute. But yeah, so I ended up with crayon washi. And this one is just like nerd. I like this one. This is like nerd washi. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. But you get glasses, an alarm clock, a pencil, a composition book, a globe. So, yeah, and an ideal light bulb. So that's a nerd washi, which I am a candidate. Just some numbers on some graph background. I mean, I think they're all pretty and usable. This one has little statements on it. My teacher, way to go. Best class, whatever. This probably I won't use a lot, but that's all right. It came in here for $4, so who cares? Little polka dot thin. I like that. This one is nothing but pencils. Just a whole roll of pencils. This one I will use. Yeah, this is from Michael's. They're having 70% off. This one is the old alphabet. It's hard to see. My lighting sucks today, and I'm sorry. I turned my light off, but yeah, it sucks today. But this is black with the white writing on it, the alphabet. So I like that. And then this one is a ruler. Can you believe that, Eileen? I got ruler washi. Hello. I'll make a page with apples and say, bite me. And then a ruler one. So how could I not buy that, Eileen? I knew that I was going to catch a mountain of crap from you when I came home with washi, but I didn't buy just that one because this one I have looked at a few times because I loved one of the rolls in it. This is the Recollection one. Look at how pretty that washi is. Dark blue background with orange, pink, and green flowers. It's so pretty. So I bought this whole roll, really, for that roll. And these don't have, like this one, this metallic one, it doesn't have as much on it. And it just says, hello, sunshine. Yeah, right. That's when I would say bite me. This one is just purple and pink and says sparkle. And I'm so sparkly. And this one's just design. I mean, they're not horrible washies. And I don't know, they've been on that end cap forever, so I think they just decided these aren't going to sell at their price. We need to get rid of them. This is Laugh, Live, Love, but the background is really pretty. So, and it's metallic again, so you don't get much on it. You get a lot less on the metallic foiled ones. This is just bright, shine, beautiful day, love, happy. But they're all very bright. This is just happiness, dream, love, happiness, dream, love. So I do like the background on this one too. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the metallic either. And then this is the metallic pineapples, and so you don't get much on it. But really, the reason I bought this whole roll, and these are the two that I'll use the most, are the blue flowers. I just thought this was so pretty. And then this one, I like this. So, yep. So there you go. I bought 2 washies. So for $4 each, I think they were $4.50 actually. Yep, that was my entire haul. That's all I bought yesterday. And then groceries. Groceries. I hate groceries. I always have to buy groceries. But that's okay. So that was it. That's my haul. Probably every bit of it, I'm going to be honest, I could live without. But whatever. And then when I got home, one of the first things I thought of after the doctor gave us the good news yesterday was, oh my gosh, I really am going to Australia. I really am going to Australia. So I came home and I PayPal'd Jen all the money for our Australia flights. So, yeah, it wasn't great fun stuff, but it's all usable, you know, like the glue and stuff like that. I'll always use it. And books, you can't go wrong with books. Alright, I'm getting the rest of that gold off of me. Okay, so let's do experiments. Okay, there was a couple things I wanted to do. I wanted to play with that ink that Dee Dee played with this morning. Jennifer and Cindy Lou Who were so generous to send me both the gold and the silver. So let's put those down. And I'll get both my pens out. See how they're going to work. All right, and I will pour a little bit out into my stone. Make them available. Maybe I won't. No, I think I'm going to put them in just a little container. So, but I think, yeah, the Hobby Lobby thing is almost over, and I quite frankly am glad, but I won't probably be going back up to Joplin before I leave for Australia. I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I definitely am coming. But yeah, I don't think I'll be back up there before I leave for Australia. I thought we'd be going back here in the next week or so to get his PICC line out. But as soon as she said, you're fine, no more treatment, they pulled it right out in the treatment room. Okay, the ball's rolling. So yeah, I won't be back up there, and there's absolutely nothing I need. And I got Jen the journal. You saw it but had no idea about the ink. Well, I had seen it too, and then I thought, oh my gosh, that was the day that I bought everything. And mine still had this yesterday, but I haven't let myself play with it yet, so I'm going to play with it right now. I'll do the gold first. They sent me the gold and the silver, so we'll do the gold first. Dee Dee used it this morning, and I don't think there's... Yeah, I'll just see. Puke a little bit out there. I like the little nozzle things. Those are kind of inventive. Keeps you from making a big fat mess. Alright, we'll use the calligraphy pen first. And I probably should get out a paintbrush and do it too. Oh, very liquid. I should have blotted this off first. I have to say the flow is very nice. Very, very nice. Like it. Oh, I can see the gold. As it dries, you can definitely see the gold. I might have to turn the sheet for you to see it, but yeah, I can definitely see it. But the ink does flow nice, so if you have a dip pen, yeah, this is some nice flowy ink. Generally, the Chinese inks they're awesome. Hi, Judy. Yeah, no, this is very nice ink. And definitely blot it off, you guys. I'm not blotting it off. But definitely blot it off. No, it flows beautifully. So, yeah, this will be great for Zentangle with a dip pen. I will not put this into and I'll have to read the box. It's probably in Chinese, can't read it. Let me see. Oh my god. Shake well and allow the metal ball, I'm reading the ball inside to disperse the gold powder. Rotate the cap to open, pour the ink into an inkstone or dish. Well, yeah. I wanted to see golden black is black ink with a golden powder suspension, suitable for calligraphy and sumi e-painting. Yeah, e-painting. I believe the type is really small, and it is fade resistant. Conforms to whatever. You could go look that up. Keep out of direct sunlight. Store bottle upright for best results. Do not mix with other inks. Use carefully, as it will stain clothing. Keep bottle tightly capped when not in use. It doesn't say anything. I would not put this into my fountain pens because the gold suspended in the black ink, if it was just golden black ink, yeah, I probably would, and then wash my pen real good. I probably would, because of the powder in that, I would not put this in my fountain pens, you guys. Use it with a dip pen. Yeah, no, this is very nice. I'm waiting for it to dry so we can see. And I think the way Dee Dee did it with the giant paintbrush. This is more how I'll use it, though. If I tilt it, can you guys see the gold? I can see it. And it's very subtle. I mean, it's not knock your eyeballs out. I'm going to try the silver next to it. I needed to get some clean water, too. I tried to get prepared. I just didn't succeed very well. You know where it is, Suze, right? It's over where all the Dr. P.H. Martins and all that was. One thing I was surprised yesterday at my Hobby Lobby is, and of course I know they're all probably laid out differently, so, you know, what is true in mine may not be true in yours, but back where they had all the stamps and all the Fiskars stuff, that aisle had been totally redone. The stamps in the cabinet were still on one side of the aisle, but on the other side they had totally taken all that stuff out. And I think they moved it. I didn't go look where they moved it. But they totally moved all that stuff. And there were giant, and I mean giant, wooden letters. The markers, there were almost no markers left at mine, Suze. They had a few drawing things left in the art department. But yeah, pretty much everything was gone at mine. And all of the paper pads that they had last week when I was there, they were all gone. So I'm really glad that I went last week, just when I had that niggly voice saying, you need to go, you need to go. I'm glad I went because, yeah, and a lot of the stamps, the wooden stamps, were all picked over. They're redoing that whole aisle that had the Delusions and the Tim Holtz. There's almost none of that left. None. All of the stencils were gone. The foam stamps were all gone. So yeah, they're definitely, it's winding down for sure. And there wasn't as much mess in the store. You could tell that they were getting things put in their new homes. Ooh, this almost has like a blue tint to it. That's pretty. We're going to give it a go. So yeah, I don't know what Cindy paid for this, but I remember I picked it up and looked at it and thought, man, that is some cheap ink. Well, I don't want to say cheap. I want to say inexpensive. That is inexpensive. If you need black ink, of course, this is not going to be your black, because of the silver and the gold pigment suspended in it. Okay, so we're going to do the silver next to the gold. Yeah, I didn't notice. I didn't even look at the stamps yesterday because I don't need any more. Again, my initial thought is, wow, that flows very nice. I want to get it kind of close so I can compare it to the gold. And if you're wondering why I do this design over and over again, this is one of the things I used to do a lot to warm up if I was going to do calligraphy. This was one of the warm-up, so that you could see it if you were holding your pen at your right angle. Because when you do a cross, if you're holding your pen at 45-degree angle, okay, for certain alphabets, your downstroke and your cross stroke should be the same width. And if they are, you know you're holding your pen at the right angle. And I know I'm not picking up my pen like I should be. You were able to load up on the wooden stamps a few weeks ago, well, except for the sock monkey. Yeah, the stamps, they were giving those bad boys away. I think they're going to take down that whole wooden stamp cabinet, frankly. I really think they are. But the other parts of the store were, they were redoing too. Like I noticed the cake decorating aisle and everything. Everything had been redone, and it was so well done. It looked so nice, and everything was in its place, which is unusual for Hobby Lobby because normally mine, everything is everywhere. I think they're kind of going to get more home decor things. I really do. I think they're still going to carry a lot of the craft stuff, but my gut impression is there's going to be more home decor. I think they make a lot of money on that, and I can't say that I blame them. They got to sell what they're going to make money on because they're competing with Amazon, you know. And Robert and I were talking yesterday. Um, Honestly, driving into that parking lot, there were so few cars, you guys. And of course we were there a little early. It was 10:30 in the morning, I think, when we got there. Um, but really, there was nobody out shopping. And I think a lot of these retail places are hurting. And I think they know it now. You know, they've got their fourth quarter returns now from Christmas sales and stuff, and I think they recognize the writing on the wall. I hate to say that because retail does provide so many jobs for so many people, but I really think these retail outlets are hurting. I really do. All right, let's see. Yeah, I will definitely be using this ink. It's very nice ink. So if you want silver shimmery ink and gold shimmery ink, yep, um, I think you'll be happy with these inks. I'm looking now if I can see the silver. I can see the gold much, much more than the silver. Of course, I don't have, I'll have to get one out. I was going to say I don't have an absolute black to compare it against. So let's see what I got in the drawer right here. I've got fountain pen ink. I got blue ink. My black India ink is in another location. Looking. And I didn't get any of the black FW ink. I wish I had. I wish I had gotten the black. Well, I have Bombay black. I'll use that. Well, for a lot of stuff, I don't shop out much anymore either. I mean, even my cat treats, I couldn't find the flavor of cat treat that my spoiled ass cat likes. I ordered it from Amazon, but the crazy thing is, um, it was a huge container, and I thought, well, that's going to last a freaking lifetime. But a day or two later, I got a message from Amazon asking me if I would participate in a survey about that particular product that I had ordered and why I had ordered it, and I could win a $10 gift certificate. So I said, sure, I'll do it. So I ended up making money on my cat treats. But normally I would not buy cat treats from Amazon, but I did. All right, where do I want to put this so I could compare? I can't see the silver as much as the gold, you guys. And I'm doing the black India just to compare the solid black. Maybe it'll let me see it a little bit better. So That's all I need to do with that. I didn't put but just a little tiny amount out. That's all I need is black India ink all over everything. Yikes! I think with the online groceries is with competition. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Jennifer. You can kind of see how Walmart is changing their strategy to try and compete. Oh, you absolutely can. They'll do all your shopping for you, pick it up at the curb. Yeah, there's no doubt that that is a direct result of competition. Because all that does is add to their cost. There would be no advantage for them to offer a service like that unless they were not competing well. And as much as I hate grocery shopping, that would be like the last job in the world I would do. You want eggs? Go get them yourself, you wench. I ain't going and getting your eggs. Okay. Let this dry. Okay, now that the black is next to it, can you guys see that? The silver is really hard to see. So I would use the silver really as just a black. But now I can see the gold. Can you guys see that? I can see the gold there. That was the silver. And then that is just the pure India. And I can't, let me see if I turn the light on here. Yeah, I can't see that silver hardly at all. The gold I can. I'm going to try and get this at an angle for you guys. There, you can see it now. So, they're nice inks. So, if you need cheap, inexpensive, yeah, inks, and you get a ton with it. This is like 180 milliliter. These are huge. They're huge containers. Guess what? The Bombay inks are 30 milliliter. So this is like 6 times as much. Yeah, that's how I am, Skunk. I can see the gold, but not the silver. So, but that's okay. I still appreciate it. Thanks, Cindy and Jennifer. I love this. But yeah, I'm not seeing the silver that much. Maybe if I get a certain angle, I can see a little bit of shine to it, but not much. Really, not much. But I appreciate the inks nonetheless. Alright, and then the other thing we were going to try, I can put those aside and wash them later. When we were at Dee Dee's this morning, we were talking about, in chat, Dee Dee wasn't talking about, using matte medium or clear gesso or something over the metallic. Dee Dee was talking about using metallic in your coloring, or just generally, I guess, in your art. And somebody in chat had mentioned, well, just cover it with matte medium. Well, the problem with matte medium is it takes the shimmer out of the metallic nature of the beast, right? And I said that with, you know, I think this would happen. I really was not certain, but that was kind of my gut feeling, is that the matte medium or gesso or whatever is going to affect the shimmer of the gold. So I thought, well, hell, we're not doing anything anyway. We're going to go ahead and try it. So any chance I get to play with these, I do, because I love them. These are, if you look for them on Amazon, the box comes and it says Calero, I think. But when you look for them on Amazon, they're going to come up at Fine-Tech. Search for Fine-Tech and you'll find these paints. They make apparently a lot of different colors in these Fine-Techs. I only have the gold, and I will only get the gold because I'm not that big on metallic, but I'm excited to use these for my illuminated lettering. And that was why when Paula got them originally, I was like, okay, I'm going to get those because the shimmer is just too unbelievable. The gold will just knock your eyeballs out. It looks like real gold. The matte gloss medium would seal without taking away the shimmer. That's exactly it. But I also got out some glazing medium, and I'm going to try that as well. So we'll just do three experiments. Clear gesso, matte medium, and the glazing medium. And I have iridescent and everything else, but you know what the iridescent's going to do. So, and I just dirtied up my clear water, so let me get my water brush. I'll just use it with water brush. That'll be fine. It works fine that way. Man, it's such a pretty day here. Oh, man, it's pretty. And my daffodils are all blooming. And yours are coming today, Suze. I don't think you're going to be disappointed, even a little bit. They are some kind of awesome. Oop, clean the paintbrush. Obviously, I was using green the last time I used it. This first gold, and the names of the golds are on the back of the box. The first gold is Tibet gold. Man, this thing is shimmery. And I just sprayed them a minute ago to get them soft, a little bit soft. So we'll go ahead and put down some nice gold swatches. All the same color because I don't want that to be one of the variables that we have to consider when we're comparing. And I'll do 6 boxes, one with the mediums, one without the mediums, so we have something to compare to, right? Yeah, this set is really good. Thank you for enabling Paula. Yeah, Paula enabled all of us on this, for sure, in her super duper Amazon haul. Paula might have enabled me a time or two since I've started watching her. I don't even know how many years ago now. I don't know when I found Paula, but that's about the time I found everybody else. Because I think she mentioned Dee Dee. So, Paula and Dee Dee kind of have sent me to the poorhouse. See, I don't think I'll use the pearl ones. You have snow forecast for Easter. Oh, man, that's a bummer. Let's see, the 20th was yesterday. So, yeah, I'm going to have to start getting ready for Easter here in the next few days. And I didn't buy any of my Easter groceries yesterday because I was thinking, well, we'll be back to get the PICC line taken out. And then they yanked it out of his arm while we were just sitting there. So, it was like, oh, man. I'll just buy groceries locally. I won't drive all the way to Joplin for that. So, because they're watercolor, every time I go over them, I'm moving them, right? So, don't forget that, too. And when I put this medium on them, I'm going to let these dry completely. That's when I found Paula. Eileen was art on the couch when she'd hurt her foot, and she was arting on the couch. That's exactly when I found her as well. And I'll just go ahead and, since we've got it sitting here, I don't know how many metallic products I have. Not many. Oh, crap. I tightened this too tight. Or maybe I'm turning the wrong way. I was. Duh. Not the brightest bulb on the block, boys and girls. I guess you have to stir this every time you use it. So I better get a ton of toothpicks. I put it on this paper, but I'm gonna move it to this one so I can compare it side by side with the other golds. Last night you went through all your old journals. Oh, Paul, I wish you had turned on the camera. I'd love to see all your old journals from 2010. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. I hear you, Suze. Yeah, because I think some of your old journals would probably bring back good memories for me, too, watching you do them. It's funny how the time passes because I feel like it hasn't been that long that I've been hanging out with you guys, but honestly, it's been years now. I'll just put some down on the paper and then move it with the water brush. Probably I need to get out a dry brush, frankly, but oh well. Righty tighty. Gotcha, man. All right, remember, I'll write it down, so, because I was going to have you guys remember. Psh, that's goofy. All right, this is, yeah, I'm not sure that I should have put my water brush in that. For real. It says it's water-based, but it's not coming out of my water brush as easy as the watercolors, so keep that in mind. Don't put your water brush in it. You're going to do videos for all of them? Cool. Are you going to do videos on stream or videos just turn on the camera and do videos of just the journals? Because that'll be great videos. Journal flips, all of your old journal flips, that'll be awesome. And one thing I think a lot is I should take better notes, you know, like, because a week from now I won't remember any of this. All right, so this is the Fine Tech we'll do the clear gesso first. And this will be the Fine Tech with matte medium. This will be the Fine Tech with the glazing medium. And then I'm just going to do this with the clear gesso. And what was the name brand of that? Tester's Craft. Yeah, Blade. I found Blade after I found Paula. In fact, I'm not sure how I found Blade. Maybe you guys... Well, probably Paula told me to go over there. He's funny. I enjoy Blade's streams a lot. Okay. So now I will get a paintbrush out, which I should have just done in the first place. I have a little scrubby one here. I'll just use it. Try it off. Blade's funny. Alright, clear gesso first. Oops. Oops. Oh, you know what? This is a replacement one. I need to get out the one that's already open. And I thought I was doing so good, getting everything out early, blah, blah, blah. Not. Alright, here's the other Liquitex clear gesso. I got a great deal on this too at Hobby Lobby, believe it or not. And I say, I bet there's boogers on the top of it, and sure enough, there is. Cleaning it up, cleaning it up. But this was $18. This is Liquitex clear gesso. $18 that I got for $5.47. Now, this was not part of this last clearance. I've had this for a while. Alright, this is with the, and I'm going to have to keep in mind, watercolor, if you put gesso or anything else on top of it, it's going to move, right? So I'm just going to pat it on rather than brush it on, because if I brush it on, you know it's going to move. Nature of the beast. I'll try down here. Yeah, it moves, so. And it's not too thick a coat, so. Yep, it's definitely moving. See, can you see how it moved? Now over here, this one may not move at all. I'll try it too. Dab it on first, because that might be a consideration. Is it permanent when dry? The fine tech, you know, is not going to be, so. Yep. That last one, the Tester's Craft in the little pot, it didn't move. This is going to move for sure. Made it pretty though, really pretty. Maybe it will go ahead and shimmer some since it mixes with the medium itself. I put out too much gesso, that's for sure. I need it just a little. Yep, Jean, it sounds like we've all kind of taken the same path, right? To get here today. Alright, next one's going to be matte medium, and clear gesso is still drying, so don't need much because it's not a very big square. Liquitex gesso is not good. Eileen, I don't use gesso that often, so that it doesn't really matter for me. If I was a gesso person, I might consider what you're saying, but honestly, I don't use gesso hardly at all. So, yeah, no big deal for me. She's saying she hates the Liquitex gesso. Liquitex gesso. And I would say, like their paints or anything else, you know, I kind of think they're all a little gritty, but I don't use them that much, so that I can't weigh in and say, oh, don't buy this stuff. And for $5, compared to 18. Bonus. Bonus. Okay. So that's the matte medium. Now we'll try the glazing medium. And it's all acrylic. So acrylic base, right? You're going to be shocked when you see the clear gesso over it. But keep in mind, too, you can't just paint it on, you know. Okay, and this is the glazing medium. And I bought this for something. I don't know what, but yeah. Probably used it once or twice ever. There was something I bought that for. I wish I could remember what it was now, but I don't remember. Now, if you want texture with the gold texture, this definitely made the gold on this one very textury where it started mixing. So, but no, don't waste these nice ink or paints. Use them on top. Yeah, I can feel the grit just in the baby wipe from having cleaned it up. You like PBO, but also use a cheap one I got at Dunlem in the UK. Yeah, well, we're not going to be able to get that here. The Finnabair Art Basic Clear Gesso. Yeah, well, if I use gesso, I would be like, okay, I need some free advice, you guys, but I don't use gesso, so, well, rarely. So, but I will certainly pass it on to the viewers in the audience if there's a good one. And I'm sure Golden makes a great one because all of Golden's products are awesome. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for a minute, but I'm going to bring this over because now I'm curious. This is the gold out of this little pot, the Tester's Craft that I got at Hobby Lobby for no money. I just want to see, because based on that test, I think it's permanent when dry. It absolutely is. In fact, it repels the water like crazy. So that's good to know, and I can see the distress moving underneath. I'll show you. Or the Magicals. Not a whole lot, but yeah, I'm picking it up, moving it. Golden and Fin are your favorite gessos? Okay. I don't know, maybe someday I'll change, but for right now, yeah, I don't need any more acrylic products. Yeah, that gold, this gold is definitely permanent when dry. So, this, the Fine Tech, will not be permanent. I don't care how dry it is. And I should probably have put, alright, I'm going to go ahead, let's do this. Because a lot of times on stuff like this, you know, when you can't work directly on top of it without moving it, you can spray it with a workable fixative, right? And I just introduced that black ink in there. What an idiot, but oh well. I'm going to go ahead and paint some of this out. And we will spray it with a workable fixative and see if that will keep the sheen and make you able to work on top of this metallic. It should seal it, but I've got to, of course, let it dry. And you're going, why don't you get out a big paintbrush so that doesn't take 2 hours? Don't ask me, I don't know. Okay. These I would highly recommend to anybody. For real. Alright. I can't spray this until those stuffs are dry, so let me turn on the heat gun and dry them real quick. My heat gun lays on the floor, so I have to lean over to get it. Okay, now it's around my chair leg. Isn't that special? I may have to crawl down there. Maybe not. There we go. All right. Whew. Oh, and another thing, since I'm going to go out and spray the fixative anyway, Paula was curious, because the other day when I was working on that coffee lettering for the Rach challenge, she wanted to know if maybe writing on the chalk on top of acrylic, you know, what part the distress underneath played in that. And I honestly couldn't answer that either. So I'm going to go ahead and paint out some black acrylic. Write on it with the same chalk markers that I was using, or pencils. And then spray it again and see if it is the fixative or what I was working on top of, which is a great question, because I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and spread this with this. Just even it out a little bit. Because, yeah, it's a good question. The thing is, there's so many variables, but I do know Colleen had mentioned that they do make a chalk or pastel fixative. I don't happen to have any, and I'm not going to buy it. What's Judy talking about? Just snap my shift key in half. Oh no, Judy. I think you can buy replacement keys. I think I remember that from when the kids used to mess with my computer. I know you could for the monitors. I don't know if you can for laptops. But yeah, I had to buy keys one time. And I could buy the replacements. Alright, now I'll smooth it this way. I had too much paint out there. And I think I know what I'm going to write with the chalk pencil, because Eileen's such a smart ass. Alright, it's smooth now. Enjoy your dinner, Minky. Alright, here we go. Let's try this. Alright, I'm going to show you guys the results of that Finetech metallic watercolors with the different mediums on it. Can you guys see? I'm trying to get in a place here. Okay, now this first one you can definitely see. See how shimmery that is? I mean, that is just knock your eyeballs out shimmery right here. This is with the clear gesso. See how it dulls it up? So not a good candidate for sure. The matte medium, definitely. I mean, it left a little bit of the shimmer, but not like, look at that. And I'm looking at this one right here now. And this is the matte medium one. So you can see that those mediums just absolutely knock the shine off completely. This is the Finetec with the glazing medium. So the glazing medium worked a little bit better. You know, if you were going to do it, I would say the only medium I would use would be the glazing medium for sure. But you have to pat it on. You cannot spread it, you know, paint it on. But yeah, the only one that left the shimmer at all, is the glazing medium. So there you go. That was actually a good experiment. So don't think that you're going to use clear gesso over your metallic and keep the metallic. This is the clear gesso over the Tester's Craft, which the Tester's Craft now we've learned is permanent when dry, but the clear gesso knocks the shine right off of that as well. So we probably didn't have to do all that to know that. To me, it makes perfectly good sense. But yeah, just use the Finetec last. I am going to go spray this with a workable fixative right now. This was the Finetec that will move if you work on top of it. So I'm going to spray it with a workable fixative. And then, but before that, I'm going to use the chalk pencil, which is right here. What about Timmy's Distress Glaze? That I can't answer you, Skunk, because I don't have any of the Timmy's Distress Glaze. And maybe the other women will know, but most of those distress products are water soluble. So, but the glazing medium defeats the purpose of finding a way to color over it. Exactly, exactly. There you go. So their apologist said that for sure. I'm going to write over these in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the chalk experiment. This is in honor of Eileen. Okay, now I can go run outside and spray the workable fixative real quick. There you go. Bite me. Oh, I'll give you a piece of washi, Eileen. I bought a whole roll of flamingos just for you. Actually, they did have washi with flamingos on it. I didn't buy it, but Alright, sip of coffee. It's ice cold now. Good thing I like cold coffee. BRB. Oops. I'll leave that for you to look at. Only take a second. Interesting. The workable fixative, even on the acrylic Paula, look, it's still there in the background, but it still acted like a giant eraser. And I mean, I tried to do everything exactly like I did yesterday. So definitely if you're going to use chalk, these chalk pencils, in your artwork and you want to seal it, do not use crayon workable fixative. It will act like a giant eraser. Now I could go over that very easily. I mean, it's still there. See flat, you can't see it at all. But if I put the light on it, I can still see it there. And I could go over it really easily like I did yesterday when I was working on this paper. But yeah, it acted exactly the same. As soon as I spread it, it was like, boom, it's gone. Oop, eraser. But it's still there, though. So it's not like a real eraser. So it's good to know. I mean, yeah, that is definitely good to know. And then I went ahead and sprayed this. This is the Fine Tech Gold paints, which are going to move, right? So if you want to seal them, this should keep them from moving because, yeah, that acrylic is just going to seal it up. Oh, it's moving a little bit. Maybe I didn't let it dry enough, but yeah, that should be staying put pretty much. Maybe if I put another coat on it, it for sure would seal it up. It did not affect its shimmer at all. It's still very shimmery. But see over here where I did get it to move a little bit? So I would say 2 coats completely, and let me blow it dry real quick because now I've got water on it, and I'm going to try and go over it with a colored pencil or ink or something. Exactly, Eileen. And that crayon workable fixative is actually designed to dry very fast, so you don't have to dry it very much. I'm going to try it with, well, but that'll defeat the purpose. Yeah, so what I would do is if I wanted to make sure that this did not move, if I was going to put something water on top of it, or water soluble, whatever, I would definitely let it dry, give it 2 coats. And you can definitely see my brush strokes in there. Wow, that's pretty bad. But yeah, now that we've got the workable fixative on there, we know that it doesn't affect its shine at all. Let's see if we can write on top of it with colored pencil. Which I was going to say you should, but keep in mind you're going to have to be dealing with that gold underneath no matter what. Yeah, it lets you work, and I would say another layer. Give it a couple layers at least. But yeah, then you can work right on top of it if you ever had the need to do that. Because it takes the color. I mean, there's definitely, it's not like this paper for sure. But I am able to get some colored pencil on top of it. But like Dee Dee said, she won't use the spray fixative because she can smell it forever. And I tend to agree with her. That odor, believe it or not, is not one that I find bothersome. So, break out the hairspray. Yeah, maybe the hairspray would work better. I don't know. Let's try ink on top of it. Ink should work just fine as well because I have the inks out here already. You've put a waterproof barrier there is what you've done. So anything you put on top is not absorbing into the paper. And I can tell that with this ink. It's sitting right on top of that fixative. It's not absorbing at all. But, well, that was the Chinese ink. The India ink will go ahead and dry. It's not as badass as StazOn. Yeah, StazOn is some smelly crap. I can't argue that. But, great product for certain applications, for sure. You know, StazOn, I think, is one of those products. You either love it or you hate it. That's how I feel about StazOn. But for certain applications, if you want to stamp on acetate or something like that, StazOn is your only option. Like, that's all you got. Hi, Dee Dee. We're doing experiments here based on what you were working on this morning. We put out those Fine-Tech Gold watercolors and put some mediums on top of it. This isn't pretty. These are all experiments. We did the Fine-Tech with clear gesso, and it obliterated the shimmer. Fine-Tech with matte medium, the Fine-Tech with glazing medium. If you have glazing medium, you could put it on top of the Fine-Tech. Let's see if you can write on top of that glazing medium, and it's not going to act like, yeah, see how different that blue pencil acted on top of the glazing medium? Okay, I could get it on there, but it's really different than, say, the workable fixative over here. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you can write on top of it, and I'm assuming, well, the ink I know is going to go on top of anything. So, and this is slowly drying, but it's drying. The water or the liquid is evaporating. It's not being absorbed into the paper. It should still be waterproof, though. Well, I say that. Did we test we didn't test those Chinese inks. Let's just go over them with the water brush. Because all of this, other than this, right here, was the traditional Chinese ink with the gold and the silver. So, let me just double check that. But it looks to me like that is not permanent, you guys. It's going to move, and it's certainly had ample time to dry now. Yep. So if you use these inks that you got at Hobby Lobby with the gold and the silver, you can't put anything wet on top of them. See, it's moving like crazy. The silver worse than the gold. Yeah, that silver is moving like real crazy. And then the India ink should not, so we'll give that a go here too. Yeah, that was the other silver. So the gold is better than the silver, and then this up here is India ink, and it should just stay put. Yep, see, it's not moving at all. So that's another thing you got to consider. The water-based Chinese inks are not going to be permanent. Your India inks always are. Yeah, it really moves. But when I moved it, oddly enough, now I can see the silver in the black. I don't think maybe you guys can. Let me see if I can. Yeah, can you see when I get it in the light right? The light right, the right light. Golly. Yeah, now you can see the silver, where before I couldn't see the silver that much. But now that I've gotten it wet, I can. And then there's the gold. This is the gold, this is the silver. And then that's India. So if you want dark, dark black, just go for your India waterproof ink. There you go. Yeah, just use a water brush to add your shading, for real. Huh, that would be interesting. This is the gold, and the gold didn't move as much as the silver. We're just going to do that real quick. So, yeah, what other things did we end up with questions about from Dee Dee's? This is the gold that I used. I'll let it absorb for a minute. One thing I'll say about that gold ink, boy, does it flow nice. It really does. Okay, we'll let that sit for a minute and I'll wash the pen. Inktober, for sure. Yeah, and I already know what my topic is this year, Dee Dee. I'm going to do illuminated lettering. I've already decided. I thought of it at the end of last year. I thought, why didn't I do that? So yeah, I'm going to do illuminated letters. And then I'm going to go ahead and color them after I ink them. Right? Do I have rice paper? Yes, I do have rice paper. Let me think what I did with it. I actually ordered some. I think I know where it is, Paula. I really need to get control of this junk around here. Oh, jeez. I think I know where it is. I'm pretty sure I know. Yep, here it is. And I bought this to do some experiments on. So what are we going to do with the rice paper, Paula? And don't ask me too much about the rice paper. Don't know. It will be ambitious, I know. I don't really know too much. I'm letting this dry. About the rice paper. I do know that one side of it has some tooth, and this is 2 sheets of it. So it's very, very thin. It's like cigarette paper. Yep, that's a good way to describe it, Suze. It definitely is. It's very thin. From everything I've heard, it's a very durable paper. But one side, it's almost like deli paper, really. One side has a texture, and the other side has some sort of coating that makes it very, very smooth. So what are we doing with the rice paper? Let me write on here. Well, I'll know just by the feel that this is rice paper. I'm going to try when I do experiments like this to write them down. When Patty first showed us, she used it with a brush on rice paper. This ink, you mean? This gold ink? Well, we can do that. Let me see if I've got a bit. Oh, I don't have to pour more out. I still have some in my little jar there. Let me get a brush out and see. Get a brush. Most of my brushes are not. Yeah, that one I gave a haircut to. Here, I'll just use an angle brush. Yeah, that one will be fine. Like the brushes for brush lettering, that's why I've had to buy some, you guys. I really don't have brushes like that for brush lettering because most of my brushes were, yeah, look at, I gave this paintbrush a haircut too. If I don't have what I want, I just cut them up. I just give them haircuts. I don't care. But yeah, most of these were my mother's acrylic brushes because my mother did like mostly acrylic painting. Well, all acrylic painting. I don't know that she ever used watercolors. And those are the paintbrushes I have. I've never spent a lot of money on paintbrushes. However, I did buy those ones at Hobby Lobby that I could use, right? I could use these. New brush. Yep, I guess I'll get my new brush out. That one's really big, though. I'm going to pick one of these smaller ones. Oh, but I don't have any clean water. Alright, I'll just spray some out here. I'll get clean water here in a minute. But these sable brushes come with something on them. You have to, like, get them wet to get that off. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Hell, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all are just here entertaining me more than anything. Alright, there we go. We've got this. Now, I have tried to do the brush lettering with the real brushes. You guys, that is a whole different ball of wax than using the Tombow markers or anything like that. Believe me, the real brushes, oh baby, different deal. Alright, so I'll start with the, just using this. Oh, and get it wet first. I really need to clean that water. Alright, this is the gold. And I know because there's more, I had more in the gold. Alright. On this wider brush, I can definitely see the gold popping out more for sure. We're going to do the silver next. And I'm assuming it said keep it off your clothes, so I'm assuming that it will stain. Of course, all my clothes have ink or paint on them anyway, so yeah. It's pretty much that. And I can see the pigment in my glass of water here that I'm rinsing my brushes out in. I can see the gold pigment at the bottom of the glass. But I can definitely see that. Alright, we'll do this. Oh yeah, now I can definitely see the silver, Paula. Alright, girl, I get it now. Type of paper definitely is going to affect it, for sure. Okay, you guys are, yeah, you'll be shocked when you see this. So I need to learn to do brush like kanji, like Didi did. Oh, when I said I saw blue, I definitely did see blue. Try and get it in the right light. Yeah, the silver definitely has some blue in it. And I can see it. Ah, the lighting drives me crazy that you guys can't see what I'm seeing. Can you see the blue now? When I get it in a certain, let me get a certain light. There. There's the silver. This is the silver here. And there's definitely blue in it. Jean, you're having trouble. I'm sorry. It's a pain in the butt. It is such a pain in the butt when you're having issues. I have issues a lot at Z's, and I don't know why. I get so frustrated when I try and go to Z's, and I want to watch her stream so bad, you guys, because I just love what Z does. Honestly, you guys, I get so frustrated at Z's. I finally just have to go. I can't take it anymore. I'm going on the couch and whine. Because, I have more trouble at her streams. Never have an ounce of trouble at Dee Dee's. And I don't know what the difference is. We're all running the same software. And the gold is not nearly... I'm going to try some more gold. But the gold is not nearly as obvious on this rice paper, which is weird. Right? And I know this is the gold because I poured more of it. So let me see. Oh, and I wonder too if I shouldn't have well, no, I shouldn't. I shook it before I put it in here. Oh, rat's home. Oh, there. Oh my gosh, can you see that now? Okay. All right, whole different deal. I'm glad you said that, Paula, because, yeah, this is a whole different deal. Look at that gold now. You've got to shake it really, really well. Hi, honey.
Hi. She's getting ready to throw me out, girls.
I'm not going to throw him out. Why? What'd you do? Did you spend a ton of money?
Come for you.
Oh, I was going to say, what'd you do? Go spend a bunch of money? It's all junk. No wonder it's all mine. There isn't anything in here I even want. They're all saying hi, Robert. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Say hi, all.
Did you guys eat while you were in town?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Did you go look for the emu?
No, I'm getting ready to do that.
Okay. Yeah, this behaves totally different on this rice paper than it did on the regular paper. Well, now, isn't that something? Makes me want to try more. But I love that silver. That silver comes out really, really blue.
I'm going to go look for the emu.
All right.
See you later.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Are you having a happy day, Robert Vaughn?
Yep.
Cool. Did you tell Lane?
Did I what?
Did you tell Lane about your test yesterday?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, was he a happy boy?
Yep.
Cool. The ladies are all uber happy too. I'm not about to feed him. No, I'll feed the rat. I will.
Thank you.
They just heard you. He's going to go look for the emu. Yeah, why is that? This is really weird. No, this is really, really weird. All right, I'm going to try this again with the paintbrush on this paper because the difference is remarkable, like amazing remarkable. Okay, the first one is the gold. I can't believe that the paper would make that big a difference. Paula, do you think the paper makes that big a difference, really? That's why I'm trying this, but it's like, that is amazing. Whole different ball of wax. So ignore everything I told you earlier. No, it definitely is different. So there you go. If you get these inks, test them on your paper first because they behave completely different. And I think, you know, of course, this is not entirely controlled, right? There's Patty right there. Yeah, we were just talking about you because Paula said that you had used these inks that have the gold and the silver in them, and you had used them on rice paper. And when I was testing them initially, I had just done them on whatever cardstock was laying here, right? And I could see the gold if I shifted the paper into the light. I couldn't see the silver until I got it wet, and it's not permanent, obviously. But now I can see both of them when I get it tipped just right. See that? But then if you do the rice paper, Paula said, well, do rice paper because that's how Patty did it. And so I did it on the rice paper, and look at the difference. But you've got to get that gold and silver totally floating in the ink. That's the difference, for one, I think. But it's all coming out of the same little container that I started with. So, yeah, just amazing difference. That silver has so much blue in it. So pretty. And I'm not, as a rule, a silver lover. See, that's what I'm wondering, Jean. There's definitely some difference. If that's the Sumi ink with gold and silver, the paper makes all the difference. Okay, well, Patty, we just learned that the hard way. Why weren't you here earlier? So, yeah. I'm going to enjoy it. The only thing is I'm not sure like how to use the rice paper. I guess I'm going to have to like watch some videos or something. Yeah, Patty, these are on the clearance deal, and that's where these were actually sent to me by one of the fibs, but this was part of the clearance. They're like giving them away right now. They're giving away everything. So don't do illuminated detail lettering on rice paper. No, I won't. See, that's just it. No, I'll use something very durable for the illuminated lettering. But I'm excited to use the Fine Tech. Yeah. So now I don't know that I need to use this brush. But I got it out, so I might as well. But I'll try and show you some brush lettering with an actual brush. Yeah, I don't know how people get really good at this. Because the pen, you know, I kind of have an idea of how to hold it, how to rest it. Brush, whole different deal, because then you've got to really press down. Ease up. And I can't make the brushes go backwards, so I have to lift it. Well, you know what I'm going to say is this brush is behaving way better than the one I tried before. It's much easier to get the lights and the heavies. So maybe I will play with this more now. Thank you, Hobby Lobby, for having clearance. Because I would probably not have bought these to play with them and test unless I'd gotten them for real cheap, because I just felt like the brush for the brush lettering was, oh man, I was going to have to get a whole lot better with the markers before I got a brush involved, right? Well, this isn't bad at all, and you can control your thick and thin. And I need a lot of practice with the brush. So that's kind of nice. So I have tons of ink for practice, right? But look at how it crinkles the paper. That's another. Patty, what did you end up finding to use this for? Maybe collage with the rice paper, Daddy Vans. You've not tried it on Yupo. Okay, Yupo. Yeah, because this paper is just so, I don't want to say delicate, because I think it probably is more durable than you might think. But yeah, I don't know what, it's obviously not paper that you could do finished art on. I don't think. But honestly, this one brush, depending on how you hold it, could give you any number of thick and thin lines, right? And I have been practicing. And I have to say, I can notice an improvement, you guys. Like, if you want to get better at it, just do it, because you do get better. You've not really tried it other than messing with different papers. Okay. You want the ink? Well, get to Hobby Lobby right now. You can get it for like no money. It is very interesting ink. The silver on this paper almost looks like iron. You know, like the color, what you would frequently be referred to as an iron color. It is very, very interesting. That's not good, but for first time with the brush, better than I expected. Okay, bye, Norma. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rinse this and try the gold. I'm liking this. I'm having fun. Use parchment paper. Yeah, I actually, well, I had some parchment, but I did go ahead and get one of the pads that they had at Hobby Lobby, Dee Dee. I did go ahead and get, well, they didn't have it before. It wasn't on sale before, but it was yesterday. All I got was one pad, because I have some nice parchment paper. Of course I do. I have every paper. Yeah, this is going to take some practice, but I'm going to enjoy this a lot. I know already. Have you tried it on the writing paper? I didn't. Did I buy the writing paper? I don't remember if I bought the writing paper. Now that's bad. But I don't remember if I bought that, Colleen. I think I opted out of that. And you know it's going to work like crap on that cheap. Yeah, Colleen, I didn't get the writing paper. I looked at it, but decided, nah. I did buy some of the cheaper sketch paper. I didn't. It's not, yeah, it's not in my bag. All my stuff is still sitting here. So, okay, and one thing I will recommend, because see where I did that right there? And you can see almost no gold in it. The gold has settled. So definitely make sure that you stir the ink or shake it. But even if you put it out into your stone or a little container like this, make sure you stir it and get that gold, because the gold is heavy and it's going to sink right away, right? So, yeah, because there's no gold in that. And the reason is because I didn't get it floating or suspended, whatever you want to say. Now we should be able to see some gold after I stirred it, right? I didn't buy it. It is beautiful paper, though. It is. The writing paper, I thought it was very nice. That's weird, because I'm not seeing as much gold as I did up there. Okay, bye, hun.
Bye.
Good luck. I hope you find the emu. Are you going to take the four-wheeler out?
What?
Are you going to take Donnie's four-wheeler to look for it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just be careful, okay?
I'll do it.
All right. He's going emu hunting. Yeah, I'll yank out a piece of parchment here in a minute. Alright, up here with the wider brush, up there, the gold just jumps right out. There's just very little gold there. A lot of variables here, you guys. Because, yeah, or maybe I took all the gold that first time I used that thick brush. I don't know. But I'll yank a piece of parchment out here in just a second. And I don't know what I'm doing here, okay? I'm just playing with different products that I've never used before, so yeah, don't think that I have even a clue what I'm really doing here. These are all exercises that you do for brush lettering. I'll show you the whole set of them. The first one is like that to come up off the letters. Second one is going up and then with pressure coming down. Then the reverse of that, going down and coming up. Then doing a combination of that, like this one, either way, starting going up or coming down. And it's important that you keep your space between here and here the same. I've obviously failed right there. Can you see? But keep practicing. Eventually you get it. And when you're making your letters, they actually do have you pick your pen up. Like if you do an A, like that, you do pick your pen up or your brush, whatever. And that one's bad, but, and then this always comes up. But after a while, you do get better. You really do. Plus, I think just getting in the zone. Like being on stream, I don't think is a good place to practice your brush lettering. That's for sure. Let me yank some parchment out here. Where did I just put that bag of stuff? And look what else I got, Dee Dee. Were you here for my haul, Dee Dee? I ended up breaking down and buying that Joy of Lettering book. So now I think I have them all. I don't think there's one lettering book out there that's ever been produced that I probably don't have. For real. Because I'm lucky that way. Alright, here's some parchment. Let me I'm going to pick out, since I'm just playing, I'm going to pick out my least favorite, which is going to be probably the pink. I can't imagine myself ever really using pink paper for a finished product, so I'll put those over there. The rice paper is awesome. I am going to go out and watch some videos and see how people use rice paper in real life. I'll keep using the gold, but, well, I'll use both. This ink for calligraphy, you don't see much of the gold. You didn't see the haul? I recorded it, Dee Dee. It's not very big, and none of it too darn exciting. Nothing that you can't live without, I promise you. Now, if I was going to set this up for a calligraphy product or a lettering project or something like that, I would sit here and figure out my spacing first and draw myself some lines. But I'm just going to jump right in. And do some large. That is another one of the practices, just a line down. And so you alternate light pressure up, heavy pressure down. And this brush is definitely going to take some practice, and that should be more curved than it is. I do really try and critique myself as I'm doing this. Yeah, I can't see, even though I'm stirring this up, I'm not seeing the gold. All right, I'm going to get the other brush out and do like I did before, really scrounge down in there and get it. Behaves totally different than it did on the rice paper. Totally different. So keep that in mind. I can barely see the gold, and I scrounged down to make sure that I got it off the bottom. I can barely see the gold. So isn't that weird? I never would have thought paper would make that big a difference, but let me hold this up so you guys can see. And I got to get the light on it just right. Can you see both of them in there? It's so frustrating. Okay, I'm going to tear this off. Bye-bye. It's remarkable, really, the difference. See how it acts on the rice paper on the right? And then look at it on the parchment. You can't, I mean, I can see maybe some flickers of gold in that black on the parchment, but absolutely nothing like on the rice paper. So that is crazy. So if you want to see the silver and the gold, you're going to have to use some rice paper. Dee Dee, do you have rice paper? Do I need to send you some? And then look at that silver. So I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how to make this rice paper work because I like it, but it's not going to work that way. Oh, and I want to get that brush out of water. Yeah, it's just not going to work on parchment. I'm going to try the silver next. But yeah, I don't think it's going to work the same. And I'm using this brush where I can really scrounge down there and get all that stuff mixed up. Scrounge is a good word, isn't it? Okay, I can see a little bit and I can see a hint of the blue, but nothing like that other. So, just so different. I'm glad we did this today because I don't think I ever would have discovered that. Yeah, see, I'm the same way, Dee Dee. I don't know how to use it, so I'm going to have to figure out how to use this rice paper to make it work. To get the full benefit of the inks, because otherwise, if you're using it on, you're okay, Dee Dee. On this other paper, I mean, it's certainly pretty and it's going to work. I mean, you can write, but you're going to end up, and now I've got ink on me. Oh my God, like printer's ink. One little dot, paint your whole house. Can you see that? You don't get the full benefits of that gold and silver ink on the parchment, on the cardstock. The only place was on the rice paper. Can rice paper get blocked like watercolor paper? DeMonte, you're asking a question I have no clue about. The other thing I would wonder is because the rice paper, okay, now this is how ignorant I am. I'm going to say this on stream and somebody in YouTube is going to go, oh my God, you just showed exactly how ignorant you are. I'm thinking that they're Japanese papers, and so I'm wondering if the Tomoe River paper would do the same thing. Because one of the advantages of that paper is it doesn't bleed. So we're going to try it because we can. And actually, you guys are lucky that I'm doing this for you because the price per sheet, this Tomoe River paper is a fairly pricey paper. Okay, even when Chinese professionals use it, it's wrinkled. Okay, it's the nature of the paper. Okay, and that's probably, you know, pretty much what I guessed. But I'm like you, Dee Dee. That will be very bothersome to me. I won't be happy with the wrinkling. But maybe I could send it down to CB and have her iron it for me. Chinese brush lettering on rice paper wrinkles. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna, if you want the benefit of these inks, so far I'm gonna recommend that you get the rice paper and don't get a speck of ink on you anywhere, because pretty soon, honestly, it will paint your whole house. Been there, done that. Had a print shop for a long time. You can't have anything nice if you run a print shop, I promise you. Alright, just drying off the paintbrush so we can try it on Tomoe River paper. But again, this is a very lightweight paper. What did I say? It was like 12 pound or something. Alright, this is the gold first. And I'm putting it on pretty thick. And then I'm going to clean the brush and do the silver next to it. Nope. Doesn't, well, maybe a little bit more, but no. I think to get the full benefit about CB ironing. CB irons, can you imagine? CB irons her clothes. Yeah, well, she's going to get used to running around with me over in Australia in my wrinkled sweats. Sorry, Charlie. I don't iron. I'll iron artwork. I'll iron paper. I'll iron money, but I ain't ironing clothes. If I want iron clothes, I'll take them to the dry cleaner and let somebody else do it. I did that for many, many years, and I ain't doing it no more. You're hurting cats. Oh. Alright, here's the Tomoe on the, now the Tomoe River paper wrinkles, because remember, I'm saturating this. And there's a little bit of a wrinkle, but the beauty of this paper is, see how much ink I put on that? And you can see how wrinkly it is. It did not bleed through. You iron money? My dad used to. Now you guys are really going to think I'm loco. Yeah, my dad used to have me iron his money. And I had a dollar box for many, many years. I don't have a dollar box anymore. But it wasn't that big a box, so when I would iron my clothes, yeah, I'd iron the dollar bills to go in the dollar box, because then the kids knew if they needed money and I wasn't home or something, they could go in the dollar box and get money. I know that's crazy. But yeah, my dad used to have me iron his money all the time. And I had to iron my dad's t-shirts and underwear too. Hi, Melody. I didn't mind though. I ironed his handkerchiefs. I ironed my dad's everything. His jeans. But look at, see the rice paper, how it went right through. And this has a coating on it. This is almost, I don't want to say plastic coating, but there's definitely some coating on this. But see how it bleeds right through? Tomoe River paper, that bad boy does not bleed at all. And that was a lot of ink. A lot. Oh, and another thing, Suze. Is Suze here? Suze wanted me to show how to fill a fountain pen. She apparently had a little bit of a mess. Hi, Kathy. Gampy shouldn't wrinkle. What's Gampy? Educate me, Kathy. Educate me. Okay, you cannot see the gold or the silver on the Tomoe River paper, though, either. But it accepted it really beautifully. I will say that. You can see a slight change, but not much. You're not getting the full effect of the inks, that's for sure. Okay, Suze, I'll show you in just a minute how to do that. Okay, the parchment, it did not, you get a shadow but not a bleed. And I put a lot of ink. You can see it's still not dry right there. I put a lot of ink on there. But yeah, even on the parchment, you get some hint that there's color in that ink, but not the full benefit for sure. The only thing it's really worked on, Paula, you have an amazing memory to remember that Patty did this and what the results were. But yeah, that's that on the different papers. It's Japanese paper. Oh my God, do I have to order different paper now? Gampi. All right, let me write it in a bright color so I don't forget. Gampi paper, Japanese paper. Do you know, Kathy, if because we're just playing with these cheap inks that we all got at Hobby Lobby, and look at the difference. And I'm sorry, YouTube, if I'm repeating myself, but we're experimenting with these inks. Can you see how you can see the metallic so good on this rice paper, and then on these other papers you don't see the metallic, just a hair, not a lot. Japanese paper. Okay, Amazon sells it. Oh my God, I was not going to be doing an Amazon order. That's alright. I'll test it just because I like doing stuff like this. So yeah, it didn't work well on the parchment. That doesn't make it not usable though, okay? It just means that you're not going to get this kind of look. And I'm not sure what I would ever do that I would want this kind of look. I think it would be fun for lettering projects. But more not often than not, quite frankly, I use black ink for my lettering projects because that's what I like. So, yeah. All right, so what else did we need to learn today? We learned, okay, another thing, Dee Dee, Paula had me test the chalk pencil on acrylic and then put the workable fixative, spray the workable fixative over it to see if maybe it was what I was working on the time before when it disappeared on this paper. Yeah, the chalk pencils do not like crayon workable fixative. I mean, it was like a big old fat giant eraser. It's still there. And the Bite Me, that's for Eileen, Dee Dee, not you. So yeah, we've learned a lot of stuff. Don't use clear gesso over the fine text. Don't use matte medium over the fine text. The glazing medium worked the best. But you're not going to work on top of it well. And then this is the fine tech with the workable fixative where you could work on top of it if you wanted to. But look at that gold shimmer. Like, that will pop your eyeballs out. Alright, let's see. That's because the rice paper soaks the ink up fast and lets the gold sit on top because the pigment is larger than the ink. Yeah, I figured it had to be something like that, Kathy, so thanks for telling us that. Do you think, Kathy, that the Gampi paper would act much the same as this then, where it would let the gold particles sit on top and absorb the ink itself? Dee Dee, she's saying that the Gampi paper, Japanese paper, won't wrinkle. But I don't know. See, the Tomoe River paper is also Japanese paper, but it didn't work the same. And it didn't wrinkle so bad. And it didn't bleed at all. Okay, so the Gampi will act the same way and not wrinkle. Oh my gosh, Dee Dee, I think we have some research in our future. Of course, Kathy's already done all this, so I probably don't need to do it. But I would never have known this if I hadn't done this today. So I'm glad we did it. For real. And I need to put that. I cannot lose that note. All right, so is there anything else we need to know about the fine tech, working them with mediums? This definitely just put it on last and don't work on top of it. It's too pretty to jack with. That's my free advice for today. Use it last, don't jack with it. It's perfect. You have painted on it and no wrinkle. Yeah, research. Yeah, I love the Tomoe River paper. I do too, Dee Dee. I love ink, paper. It doesn't matter. I could play with this crap all day. But the thing I know is I will have to sit down and write myself notes later. Or I'll forget everything we did and learned today. I'll go, I know we did that, but what did we actually decide? And then I have to call Paula and say, Paula, you, with your great memory, what did we figure out? All right, let me see. Suze wants to see how to fill a fountain pen. And I'm assuming, Suze, I think all mine are empty right now, so I have to figure out which one I want to ink up. I guess I should just ask you. Suze, what were you doing when you made the mess? Were you using a cartridge? Were you using a converter? What were you doing? Timmy microglaze dulls some of the shine as well. Yeah, I'm not sure that there's anything you can put on top of that. That isn't going to dull the glaze. We're talking about putting everything on top of these paints. Just leave them alone. The workable fixative did not dull the shine though, and so I assume a finish fixative would not either. But it's a spray-on product, not a brush-on, because remember, it's watercolor. Yeah, I have a bunch of different parchments too, Dee Dee, but I kind of hoard them because they're, like, really beautiful papers. They're not these cheap Hobby Lobby papers. Trying to get ink out of a cartridge? Well, you wouldn't do that. Trying to get ink out of a cartridge with a converter. Okay, if what you're saying is you wanted to get, and I'm not going to show you how to do that because that's insane. Sorry. Just being honest here. Okay. I don't even remember which pen that's for. Let me find a pen here with a converter. I should have gotten this ready earlier. Which one has a converter? Let me see if my... this pen I wouldn't mind writing with this afternoon. All right. I'll show you different kind of converters and my cartridge inks are somewhat different than my pens and stuff like that. But I'll just use one of these preppies because I'm not even gonna attempt to do what you did if what I'm thinking is correct. All right. If what you just told me, Suzanne, is what you were trying to do, I think you're not getting quite possibly the whole concept. Okay? When you buy the cartridges for fountain pen, and they come like this, okay? Suze, this is what I'm thinking you're talking about. That you got these cartridges, and these they make thousands of different kinds of these, okay? Let me turn off the light here and see if that improves the situation, okay? So each pen, you know, some of them will use the same ones, but you have to buy the cartridge that fits your pen, okay? So when you get these, they have either a metal ball or some plastic here in this end. And so you have to push that up into that metal piece there. And ink may flow into the ribs up here, and that's fine. It's not going to make it not usable. But these are designed as to just push them on the pen and let the ink flow and start writing, correct? If I'm going to fill up one of these cartridges, say I get an empty one, and I do fill my own cartridges because they're handy as hell. And I don't have a converter for every pen too, so that may be why I would fill a cartridge. Okay, I would never attempt to get the ink. I suppose you could, but I don't think I would ever attempt to get the ink out of that cartridge to put it into another pen, especially not with a converter. So you're saying you didn't have a cartridge for that pen. Okay, some pens, like this, the Mont Blanc, it only comes with a converter. Well, I suppose I could buy cartridges for this. I never have. And this is a screw converter. So you put the point of the pen down into your ink, and you screw this, and the ink fills up the cartridge through suction. Okay, so it came with a converter. And so I'm assuming what you were trying to do, Suze, was take the pink ink out of another cartridge to get it into that pen with a converter. About the only way, let me think. The only way I could think that you could do that, and I'm not sure that it would be worth it. I think I would buy some cartridges and empty them if I had to. Let me see. Is to walk into the pharmacy at Walmart and ask them for a syringe. Because I guess with a syringe, you could pull the ink out of this cartridge. You'd have to empty it into, say, a small container like this then, and then put the pen of your ink or your pen in there. And if it came with I pulled this one out too. If it came with a converter like this pump converter, these suck. I'm just going to tell you flat out. These pump converters are cheap as hell. And when I say cheap, I don't mean inexpensive. The quality of them is crap. If you got this kind of converter, just buy cartridges. You'll be a whole lot happier, and you'll love your pens. It is a screw type. Okay, if it's a screw type, it ought to work fine. I tried to do it that way. It didn't work. I had to take the converter out. Okay, so you took the converter out of the pen because you couldn't work. Well, if you're trying to get it directly out of the cartridge, Suze, yeah, there's no way to get the ink out of the cartridge short of a syringe or something like that. I mean, even if you turn the cartridges upside down and let the ink run out, it's still not going to work well because air has to get behind the ink up here to help flow. That's just physics. So, yeah, I think what you need is a syringe. You only like pens when someone's using one to write you a check. Why am I not surprised about that? But these these inexpensive preppy pens from Jet Pens in all the different colors, I think these are $3 or less. They are such a great value for your money. I'm not kidding. I love the way they write. You can get them in every color. There is just no downside to this preppy thing. Suze, I'm sorry you ended up just using, I was going to say, I'm sorry that I can't help you, but I think you're trying to do something yeah, that is just not going to work well. Unless you can get the ink out with a syringe, put it in a little container, and then convert it. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to work well no matter what you do. Yeah, and buy yourself nice ink. So, okay, so I didn't have to ink up the pen after all. But you got to see my beautiful pen. I love to just hold this sometimes. It's so nice. But honestly, if you just want a fountain pen writing experience, um, buy these preppies. And Suze, if you want a pink pen, just order a preppy from Jet Pens. Just saying. Simple, clean. Of course, by the time you were done, you may not have had any ink left. But they still did have, I will say this, enable alert. They did still have some of the fountain pens on sale at Hobby Lobby yesterday. Of course, I didn't buy any. I don't need any. But, yeah, if you want to try fountain pen writing, they did have some of the fountain pens left. So, Suze, I'm sorry I couldn't help you more than that. But, yeah, now that I know what you were trying to do, yeah, not a good idea. More hassle than it's worth, for sure. Just order up the color ink you want and write with it. That's what I would do. What does everyone think about the Jane Davenport pens? I haven't used one. Now that platinum carbon pen that Xandra sent me, love that pen. Love it. Oh my gosh, I love that pen. I almost just fell out of my chair on my head. Picking up my cutting mat. Sitting on my feet. But yeah, I don't know about the Jane Davenport pens. I didn't buy them. I've seen other people use them, and other people love them, Eileen. But you know what? I think they've gotten fountain pens down to such a science now that all those inexpensive ones, of course hers were what, $7, $8? That's a pretty inexpensive pen, really. You never see anyone using. I've seen them in, well, that was back when all of your stuff came out too, Eileen. I think everybody bought them, they used them, and then they figured out, you know what, fountain pens are kind of a pain in the ass when you got gel pens and ballpoint pens and every kind of pen. Yeah, a fountain pen can be a pain in the butt. I'm not kidding you. It's something you have to really enjoy and love, or you will lose interest in no time at all. You have to clean them. You have to take care of them. Where if your gel pen quits writing, throw that bad boy in the trash and get on down the road. That carbon platinum, or however that you say it, that is a nice, nice pen. So I don't know. I consider Jane Davenport's pens probably the same quality as those preppies, but they're so good. I mean, for no money, they can make those pens. I think they're pretty. Yeah, I think they're pretty. But look on the internet. Oh my God, there's some beautiful fountain pens. So anyway, I'm going to stop this recording and we can go on and do something else, or I can go clean. So if you watch this on YouTube, thanks a lot. We'll catch you next time.